what I want to do is let's codify Roe v. Wade and have statutory protection. Ultimately, it'd be great to have a constitutional amendment. That's a much longer fight, but let's get a statute on the books. That's not going to happen in a divided Congress. What I try to build on is the recent Supreme Court decision that upheld the use of Mifepristone, and the recognition that there are an awful lot of red states that are healthcare deserts and critically need telehealth for provision of primary health care. And we discovered that very well through the pandemic and how important that is. But right now, Medicaid and Medicare reimbursements are not permanent for telehealth. And so we need to make telehealth fully reimbursable under both Medicaid and Medicare. That's critically important. And we need to try to break down some of the state regulatory barriers for the administration of care across state lines. And we can do that with a single federal statute that would essentially say we are going to preempt any state regulations that prevent doctors from treating or prescribing across state lines. Now, we don't call it reproductive health. We call it health access, right? This is something we have to sell in a divided Congress. Just like the Inflation Reduction Act was the most important clean energy legislation we've ever passed, but had nothing, the word climate doesn't show up in the title, right? It's about inflation reduction, right? This is about how do we appeal to the other half of America, or at least the folks who are voting in Congress. And so we talk about health access in red states, and we work very hard to try to build coalitions in those red states about the importance of telehealth. Now, it's not going to solve everything by any means, but it will give a lot of women access in those red states to Mifepristone and reproductive health care if we're successful. And obviously, then we just continue to fight the larger battle. So we have to fight at one level, and then at another level, we've got to figure out a way to actually get Republicans on a bill that will simply expand access without signaling, triggering the far right into a reaction. So that would be one approach I'd take. Another approach I'd take certainly is what we could do within VA hospitals and military hospitals, which can operate regardless of state restrictions around expanding reproductive health care options there. There may be opportunities there from a regulatory standpoint if we have a Democratic president, but obviously that wasn't the hypo you gave me.